Hello everyone, welcome to another great trading video. In this video you'll be learning how to trade with the RSI divergence method. I'll be sharing my 4 steps trading strategy. It's simple, it's effective, it is multi-time frame, and it's really working. I've been using this strategy for over a year and the results are significant. Let's get started.
Okay, the most obvious question is, what is RSI divergence at all? It's a simple disagreement between price and RSI indicator. For example, price is rising, but the RSI indicator is falling steadily. Please do not complicate things. It's just this simple, but nothing else. The most important question is deciding when to enter a trade. This is why I have developed 4-step RSI divergence trading strategy that works really well. What are these 4 steps? 1. Confirm RSI divergence, the disagreement between price and RSI indicator. 2. Confirm tradable higher highs or lower lows. You can't just simply jump to a trade in first higher high or lower low with the expectation it's gonna fall or rise. 3. Confirm boxes and parabolic action. This is a secret that I'll teach you. You have to understand the momentum. 4. Finally, we will see how to enter a trade and place our stop loss orders. With these 4-step rules, you'll be amazed at how profitable trades you'll be having. I use this style mostly in foreign exchange and cryptocurrencies. I also test it in stocks, which works well. We have already covered step 1, which is confirming RSI diverging. Again, there is a disagreement between price and RSI indicator. For example, the price is rising, but the RSI indicator is falling steadily. It's that simple. Let's continue with the step 2. Step 2 is confirm tradable higher highs or lower lows. As you know, price action trading always correlates with market structure, and price always makes higher high or higher lows, or lower highs, and so on. But how do we know which ones are tradable? Which ones bring more confirmations to the table? Can you jump to a trade because you see an RSI divergence and one higher high? No, you cannot. This is why I use my 4-step RSI divergence trading strategy. I always wait for the first significant higher high or a lower low, and I always skip second higher high because I do not know anything about the market structure or the momentum at the moment. Instead, I set an alarm and I wait for the third or fourth higher high to show up. Now you can see I had these 2 tradable higher highs, because now the chart is speaking to me and telling me so much about the price action and the market structure. If we are in a downtrend, everything is the same. We are just checking lower lows this time. Now, this is the Bitcoin chart on a daily time frame. Chart time intervals do not matter. You can use this strategy from 5-minute charts to a weekly charts. Rules are the same and simple. So as you can see, Bitcoin had its first significant high here. This tells me that an uptrend may start and momentum is strong. But it does not tell me anything else yet. I skip the second higher high and wait for the third and the fourth ones to trade. If we are in a downtrend, I always skip the first significant low and the second lower low. The idea is the same. Now you are asking yourself, but why? Why wait for this much? The answer is in the step 3. Let's check the step 3. Step 3. Confirm boxes and parabolic action. Step 3 is all about confirming the change in the market structure and the momentum. Momentum is all about whether buyers can push the price much higher than the previous higher high, or sellers can push the price lower than the previous lower low. This is what I call boxes. A box is a difference between the current higher high and the previous higher high in an uptrend, or current lower low and the previous lower low in a downtrend. The reason that I do not trade first and second higher highs, my first box appears after the second higher high. Now I have information about market, price action, and the momentum. As you can see in the slide, box 2 is smaller than box 1. This tells me that buyers cannot push the price up strongly anymore. A parabolic action happens. Uptrend is weakening. And box 3 is smaller than box 1 and also box 2, which makes the uptrend even weaker. And momentum is almost lost. Market structure is changing from uptrend to downtrend. Let's see this in action with Bitcoin. As you can see, I do not trade first and second higher high. I just wait for my box to appear, so I can compare my box to the second and third boxes. Now what we have here? First and second higher highs present, and we have our first box. We have our third and fourth tradable higher highs. We have boxes to compare now. We have RSI divergence, we have parabolic action and momentum loss. It's exactly the same with downtrend. First and second lower lows present. We have our first box. We have our third lower low, which is tradable. We have boxes to compare. We have RSI divergence. We have parabolic action and momentum loss. Now we can continue to step 4. Step 4. Confirming entries. Now, finally we come to the most critical point of trading, entries and stop losses. Any kind of reversal trading comes with a critical question. Is this the top before a reversal, or is this the bottom before a reversal? Till this moment, we have RSI divergence, smaller boxes, losing momentum, parabolic action, identified tradable tops and bottoms. Everything is in our favor. Now let's see how to enter a trade. There are 2 things I check before an entry: candle breakout, stock RSI indicator crossover. I always look for the last big green candle at the higher high. This is generally the last push of buyers. If you can break down that candle, that will be our entry. Second confirmation, I got it from stock RSI indicator crossover. Once I see these, I place my entry at breakout and place my stop loss at a higher high point. As you can see, this ignited a downtrend on Bitcoin and total market structure change. First, the Bitcoin dropped by 21% and then continued to go down. Since then, actually, Bitcoin dropped from 60k to 30k after our strategy. A crazy 50% drop. Now, if you are looking for a long position, the ideas are totally same. This time you look for the last big red candle around the lower low. This was the last effort of the sellers. If we can take out this candle, we can beat the sellers. Secondly, confirming with the stock RSI crossover. This time, it was a 34% gain in Ethereum Classic. Now you may ask when to take your profits. Well, this depends on you and the time frame. If you are trading intraday from 5 minutes to 4-hour charts, I'll take my profits the same day, depending on my risk-reward ratio. However, if you are trading at daily or weekly charts, you may let the trade run until you see a market structure change. Totally depends on you.
Okay folks, this was my 4-step strategy for how to trade with RSI divergence. It's simple, it's effective, it's multi-time frame, and it's really working. I hope that you gained some useful trading insights about it. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel and help me to grow it. Thank you and see you next time.